Production of Broad and High is funded in part by the Greater Columbus Arts Council, supporting arts, advancing culture, and connecting the community to artists, events, and classes at columbusmakesart.com.
PNC, committed to Central Ohio, for the achiever in you. From these contributing sponsors and viewers like you, thank you.
This time on Broad and High. Take a one-of-a-kind tour through some Central Ohio backyards via miniature rail.
Here comes the superhero train.
Learn how WOSU is helping put instruments into the hands of Columbus school children.
If a musical instrument is in a closet, nobody's playing it, is it still musical?
And see how some eco-conscious fashion designers are creating clothing using sustainable methods. This and more right now on Broad and High. Hi everyone, welcome to Broad and High. I'm your host, Kate Quickle. The Columbus Garden Railway Society formed in 1992 as an informal group whose members shared an interest in backyard gardening and model railroading. Well, for one day of the year, they open up their backyards and invite visitors to come and enjoy all that their G-scale trains and miniature landscapes have to offer. Here comes the train!
Obviously, it's a yard, it's a garden, but we have the extra added advantage of having a miniature railroad integrated into it. We've been doing this since about 1993, where we open our personal railroads up to the general public free of charge once a year, and we've always settled on the first Sunday after Labor Day.
Here comes the superhero train.
I love that.
Cecil has the advantage of having the largest garden railroad of any of our club members.
We're in Dublin. The name of the railroad is the Sparta and Shelby Railroad. It was named after my husband's hometown and my hometown. We're able to run 4 trains, and I love long trains, so I keep encouraging the guys to keep adding them one at a time until the engines won't pull anymore. Most of the engines the locomotives that we have are German, made by LGB, primarily because they'll run in rain or shine.
This is referred to as G-scale. This scale is purposely designed to run outdoors in the weather. Everything's stainless steel and brass and weatherproof plastic, so it doesn't deteriorate.
And the club has a lot of people that have special talents. In fact, the club built the base for this railroad. It was like a rail raising, they call it, like a barn raising.
We live in Grandview Heights, and we have a garden railroad, which we've had since 1996, the beginning of. We started with just 1 train, and then 2 trains, and then there's many trains.
When you get to the one like on top of the roof, that's kind of a signal that you've probably gone long enough with keeping to add more trains.
The gardening part is a little different, a lot different actually, because of the scale. We need, next to the trains and the track, it looks better to have smaller leaf plants.
Well, the plants are my favorite because I do all the plantings. All my plants are dwarf that I've picked up over the years. It took us 6 years to get this up and running like this. I have 2 barns that I built that are 2x4s that I glue together, and they're tongue depressors.
Oh my gosh, so you really use anything you see can inspire something in here.
Yeah, it's amazing what you just kind of come up with.
Yeah.
What we've done with our buildings is we've made this kind of a family heritage layout. So we've named them after various ancestors.
Wow, so you've sort of brought it to life from your own family history.
Right. It's our world.
Yeah.
And so we've put into our world what's important to us.
It's very personal.
Everybody can identify with a train in one way or another. The kids love Thomas. They like the regular big ones too.
Yeah.
But for the older folks, they remember. I used to ride a train, and it brings back those good memories for them.
How long have you been doing this and how did you get involved?
Yeah, my wife and I got involved about 10 years ago. We started going on the tours and just visiting house to house, and I saw these and I was like, I'm gonna do one of these one day.
You knew you'd do it.
Yeah, it took a long time before I broke ground.
I bet.
And my family comes from Bavaria, and I've always loved Oktoberfest and all things that come along with Oktoberfest, so I thought I'd go with a European theme.
It's a lot of work all summer, but it's one time a year is worth it all.
Once again, always, always, the first Sunday after Labor Day. We plan on being here as far in the future as we can see, because we enjoy the opportunity to show our creativity to the public here too, and have them come on over and visit and see what crazy things can happen in people's backyards.
Learn more about the Columbus Garden Railway Society and their monthly meetups at thecgrs.org. It's no surprise that everyone's life is enhanced by music, and studies show children who participate in music programs perform better both academically and socially. But unfortunately, not all young people in Columbus have access to a musical instrument. Well, for the past 3 years, WOSU's classical radio station has been responding to that need. This summer, Classical 101, along with CD 1025 and Music Columbus, urged listeners to consider donating any new or gently used instruments that may have been collecting dust in their attics and basements. By doing so, they are giving the gift of music to a whole new generation.
If a musical instrument is in a closet, nobody's playing it, is it still musical? When budgets get tight, arts programs get cut. We're thinking, what can we do as a station aside from just playing beautiful, moving music? How can we make an impact in the community? And we know that music changes lives.
That was Schubert's Fourth Symphony, also known as his Tragic Symphony.
We find that kids who study music do better in school. They do better in math and science. Well, this will be the third year that we've done this, and we've worked with Columbus City Schools. And we collect instruments that are in somebody's closet or basement or attic, just gathering dust, and nobody's playing it. And so we're asking them to pull those out, dust them off if you can take a minute. And if you bring them to us, we will donate them as a group to Columbus City Schools.
You know, maybe that person that plays this instrument is the next, Rolling Stones or the next U2.
We took in about 280 some instruments this year.
We always get some curiosities. Let's see, we have a Peruvian wood flute. We got an accordion this year.
Violins, I think clarinets. I know we got a really cool drum kit.
It was funny, the first 2 days we got 6 trombones.
I really love getting the trombones, the trumpets, the saxophones, because those are things that do cost quite a bit. This program is so important because of the fact that we don't have as much money as we need. So this is one of our resource centers. We have an art resource center. This is our music resource center, where we take in donations of musical instruments. We do make repairs. If it's an instrument that's worth quite a bit, or if it's an instrument that we use a lot. So for instance, saxophones, trumpets, trombones. Saxophones are very expensive. So if it's an expensive instrument and it does need repair, a lot of times we will repair that instrument because it costs us a lot to purchase low brass. I think it's very, very important that our students get clean instruments, that they get instruments that they can feel very proud to walk into a classroom with. And not only that, we have to make sure that the instrument is sanitized. We then tag them and inventory them for the district. I have to say these instruments are going to be spread out all across the city because the need is great.
My name is Antonio Delgado, and right now we're at Salem Elementary School, and I teach instrumental music, which means I do 4th grade and 5th grade violin lessons and 4th grade and 5th grade band lessons. If students didn't have access to distributed instruments, it would mean that all of the students would either have to rent their instruments from outside places for pretty high prices or purchase their own instruments. And there's certainly a large number of students here who just wouldn't be able to afford that.
When I look around, I think this is great. We're going to be able to serve a lot of students. We're going to be able to have a lot of students involved in programs.
You know, music, I think, is one of these, it's one of these truly amazing connectors. You learn the alphabet by sing-song. No one says the alphabet A, B, C. You sing it. A, B, C, D, E, F. So it's part of our makeup as humans.
Musical instruments exist for a reason, and that's to make music. So if you have an instrument there, I know there are connections to it, personal connections, but let it be more powerful to think about that instrument being played again.
Celeste Malvar Stewart is a Columbus-based couture fashion designer who works solely with sustainable material. She creates her textiles with wool from an Ohio sheep farm and dyes her fiber with plant-based products like black walnuts and eucalyptus leaves. Her recent collection, Local Sound, threads together her love of her adopted city, her eco-conscious sensibility, and her spirit of collaboration.
I was born in the Philippines, and I came to the United States when I was 3 years old, and my family moved to San Francisco. I was a t-shirt and jeans kind of a girl, and I really didn't have that much interest in fashion. It was more about textures, and I didn't know how to put it into words, but I think I was a textilian as a child. So it just sort of moved me into, I felt kind of natural moving into fashion that way. And so I really wanted to use a material that is earth-friendly and sustainable. And so I've concentrated on wool and felting and natural dyeing for these last 6 years, but now I'm going to incorporate it into my tailoring and the other skills that I have. It's also one of the natural fibers that has this brilliant property of scales. So you can really manipulate wool to do things like you can mold it, you can shrink it, you could expand it. Oh, roving. Roving is my friend. It serves as a glue between the raw wool and the base fabric, which is silk. So you see it, you know, all of that you see there was actually created with roving. I get my wool from Prairie Fields Farm, which is in Orient, Ohio, and it's only 20 minutes away from Columbus, which is wonderful. And so I'm taking the raw wool that's just been sheared right off of the sheep and placing it onto the roving that is on top of the base fabric, which is, in this case, silk gauze. This creates a really gorgeous, high-textured effect. So this is the agitating part. This takes hours. This is the bulk of the work here. It's also cleaning the wool at the same time. And then after it passes this stage, it goes into the fulling stage, which is the part that shrinks it down. This turns into the scarf that you can wear really close to your neck. It's so soft and comfortable. In the spirit of sustainability, I would like you to be able to wear a piece, and when it can't be worn anymore, when it's been handed down, to be able to just throw it in the ground, and it's completely biodegradable. Dyeing is fairly new to me. Now I use anything that is locally, where I'm locally able to forage. So black walnuts right now is in season. So I have brewed up some black walnut dye, and really it's just, I picked the black walnuts from around the corner and I boiled them in here. And see, so now it just gives a richer brown, but once this brown is dried, it will dry twice as light as you see the color now. And then I also use madder root, which is an ancient dye, and also cochineal, which are the little insects from Mexico. That, again, is a really ancient dye. It's what the Romans used in ancient times to create the reds in their garments. I like to grind them by hand because, you know, this is my thing. I was like, well, I'll grind them by hand and I'll thank them as I'm grinding them for sharing themselves with me. It really is the only thing that will give you that scarlet red. I was on the plane and I was on my way back to Columbus, and as I was, exiting the plane, I thought about, oh, Columbus is now my new home, and what does it sound like to me? If I close my eyes, would I recognize that I'm in Columbus? And I couldn't recognize that I was in Columbus. So I started to talk to a lot of different people about it. And Benji, he's a local musician, we talked about the sounds of Columbus. And we got this idea that we could interpret it in our own respective disciplines, but collaborate. So he went around and he taped the different sounds throughout the different communities in Columbus. And then we took a segment, a sound wave from each song, and we put it onto the couture piece. I collaborated again, I'm very big on collaborating locally, with Dan of Cut Maps. And he has this huge laser cutter, and I went to him and I said, I create couture clothing, and would you be interested in collaborating? So I brought him the first gown, and I asked him to just burn these sound waves from Benji onto it. And it created a beautiful effect, because another property of wool is that it's fire resistant, so flame resistant. And so it just heated the wool up enough to, burn it, and created this really, really gorgeous effect and a really organic effect at the same time. I wanted so much to create this collection, but I didn't have a reason. And so Fashion Meets Music Festival came up and they asked me if I would like to show, and I thought, what a perfect venue to show music and fashion fusing. I think that in Columbus, there is so much untapped talent. But when you bring us together inside of our disciplines, I think we can make some amazing things, and amazing things happen too. So yeah, I love it here.
Follow Celeste on Instagram. You can find her at Malvar Stewart. And here's another story about eco-conscious fashion designers. This one is from our friends in Troy, New York, who take us inside a shop called Ecologic to learn more about their process of recycling used cashmere sweaters into brand new, one-of-a-kind clothing.
Yeah, so, I don't know, so see if I'm still not getting, No, gotta go to red. This is that's the one.
I am Kathleen Tisnakis, and I am a recycling designer. I am part of the slow fashion movement and the fashion revolution. And what that means is we are manufacturing and designing clothing and accessories in a sustainable way. Well, I was trained as a textile and fashion designer at Syracuse University, and I started thinking, how can I be a designer when I am really against overconsumption? How can I create products when I know what the impact of the textile industry is having in our environment? And it was a real sort of disturbing question for me. And then I had a eureka moment. It was February 14th, Valentine's Day in 1996, and I fell in love with transforming old garments into new objects. By doing that, I was able to make new things without dependence on chemicals, negative byproducts, and I was literally taking things destined for the landfill and transforming them and giving them life that we now know customers of ours have products that are 20 years old. Ecologic is my design company. I founded Ecologic, and it's actually called Echo as in a reverberation, and we think ecologically is the way you should think. That is the company that I designed to do this recycling system that I've created. We take in post-consumer materials in the form of old sweaters. These sweaters actually come from my community in the New York City metro area, and then I bring them back to Troy, New York, and then we begin washing. I do have secret, recipes on how I do that, restoring, enhancing the fabric, deconstructing to make actual pieces of fabric that you see here, and then we hand cut and collage each product we make like a painting. So right here, this is the process that I call my painting, where I take my bits of fabrics and collage them together into these new pieces. You can see this is the beginning of my concept. I'm going to try to make 3 sizes of a similar size, a similar color, but then each one will have different elements. So that's what you see here. There's 2 blues, 2 greens, and I have the accent, the top, this part. She is hand cutting the pieces. There's no other way to do this. It's just like hand cutting. Each piece has to be inspected and marked accordingly, and this actually allows us to really inspect the level of quality of everything that we're putting together. Right now it's being laid on the trays for sewing. A real classic line. I'm trying to create things that people are going to wear year after year. I'm not so oriented into trend as opposed to individual style. So the clothing that I make, sort of like the piece that I have on, is all done like a painting. This is a one-of-a-kind texture. We're only able to make one of these, and that's what a lot of our customers who know our work, they're looking for those, needle in a haystack pieces. Although all of them, I have to say, are really beautiful. Our work is a little sporty. It's definitely shout-out pieces. Our customers are inspiring me daily. The stories that they bring to me tell me we're on the right path, and it's important that companies like mine exist and keep pushing the envelope. I love the diversity of our customers. I love the fact that they're the warriors on the ground that are creating parks in Brooklyn and taking care of the environment in Colorado. And even we have customers with disabilities that our mittens work well for. So being able to be a product with a message that enriches people's lives, gets passed down in families, gives me so much joy. When I walk into my studio, that's what I feel. And that's how the clothing is made, and that's the intention we're putting into the world. And I can honestly say everyone in this room is operating under the same principles and is making products like paintings with love.
That's our show. You can find all of our stories at WOSU.org or on our free WOSU Public Media mobile app. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're closing out the show today with more electronic music by Columbus's own Reptile Fiction. For all of us here at WOSU, I'm Kate Quickle. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here next week.
Scott Woods, writer. I love making people laugh where they thought they would be bored or agitated where they might otherwise be cool and dismissive. Writing can bring people to tears or rise them to debate. I've learned to write very fast and very quietly in lots of very odd places on the backs of many odd things. Passion will do that to you. Columbus artists sorely want to be better. Columbus makes you earn it a little, and artists here rise to that challenge. I work harder here, joyously harder. I'm Scott Woods. Writing is my art, and there's no place I'd rather make it.
Production of Broad and High is funded in part by the Greater Columbus Arts Council, supporting arts, advancing culture, and connecting the community to artists, events, and classes at columbusmakesart.com.
PNC, committed to Central Ohio, for the achiever in you. From these contributing sponsors and viewers like you, thank you.